Hi, boys and girls. Happy Thursday. I'm going to do a reading lesson, actually handwriting lesson, but I call it reading because we're working on letters and you have to know all your letters and all your sounds before you can learn how to read, right? So we're working on the letter E. Oops, you know what? I had it up here and I used it today for Zoom. There it is. Big E, little e. Let me just put that up here. And of course, we've worked on the sound, right? E is for elephant. E is for egg. And I'm going to show you a few more when we sit down at the table. Okay, we're going to do the handwriting. Now, we did this the other day on Zoom. Okay, we had no school on Monday. I think we did it on Tuesday, didn't we? Okay, so I showed you guys two different ways to make E's. I don't care. You guys can try both ways and decide which one you like better. I'll show you. I think I like this way the best. The reason why is if you start on the top first, okay, on the top, and you put the top on, okay, you put the straight line on the top, okay, then when you turn, you go all the way down, and then I go straight line on the bottom. Then I only have to lift up my marker one time, okay? So let me show you that way again because I was stopping and got it a little not straight enough. Okay, so I'm going to go put on the top. I'm going to go all the way down nice and straight. I'm going to put a really straight line on the bottom, and then I only have to lift up my marker or your pencil one time and put that straight line in the middle. Okay, so it was 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the other way is if you want to make the straight line first all the way down, and then put on the top, the middle, and the bottom. It looks pretty good. I just showed you though the other day on the Zoom. You have to be careful when you do that because sometimes if you go too fast and you make the straight line and you're not paying attention, okay, then you get these things that stick out, right? Then you have to go back and erase them. All right, so either way, if you want to try it both ways, you can either go, here, let me show you this one. Oh, can you see that? No, I guess I got that a little too close, don't I? You can either go 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. The problem is with this way, you're lifting up your marker 1, 2, 3 times. And so you kind of run a risk of having those stick out a little bit, okay? The most important thing is take your time. I notice on Zoom that when you guys go too fast, they're not as neat as they are when you take your time. All right, now lowercase e, I think capital E is pretty easy, right? Lowercase e's are a little tricky, and the reason they're so tricky is because you have to start them in the right spot. They don't start on the top, they don't start on the bottom, and they don't start in the middle. So where do you think they start? You have to find a good spot to start, which is between the middle and the bottom. So not on the fence, not on the ground, but below the fence. I'd say halfway, right? Between the dotted line and the bottom line. And then you need to make your straight line first. So I'm going to put straight, and then I'm going to curve up and touch the middle. And here's the other tricky part. You want to go right through where you started. So it's connected. Okay, let me show you another good one. I'm going to go straight, okay? And I went from, what is that? From left to right. Yep, from left to right. And then I curve up. Now it's like making a C, right? Now it's just like making a C. But I don't want you to make the C first and then come back and do this, okay? That's not going to be as good as just doing it in one motion, all right? And now here's a couple of other things you have to be careful of, okay? I don't want you to start here and then come up like that. You guys know what's wrong with that one? That's more of a loop, right? It needs to be more a half of a circle, right? We want it to look like a half of a circle, straight out, up and around. Okay, also, if you start it too high, that's too big. Oh, here's another thing. Let me do it here since I'm kind of out of room. Okay, if you, let's say we start here in the right spot, and you do this right, and you come up here, but then you come way over here. What's wrong with that one? It's not closed up, right? And then you have to go back and you have to close it up. So you have to be careful of all those things. E, I think little e is, I'm sure one of the hardest letters. Maybe not the hardest, but certainly one of the hardest letters There's a lot of little tricks to it, so you have to get good at it. A lot of you guys have E's in your name, and you're already good at little E's, aren't you? Okay, I am going to be very careful to move my camera down. I have to be so careful. Okay, I'm going to move it down a little bit more. Whoops. There we go. Now we got it. Okay, I'm also going to share with you this. I just made this E poster. I like to do this for every letter. One of these days I'll show you all of them, okay? Because I've been saving them. Now, when I first was thinking of E, I thought, well, E is a vowel. Remember our vowels? They're the most important letters, right? We can't have a word without a vowel. So our vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. That's a good Zoom lesson. Everybody's gonna have to look at their name and find the vowels in their name. We're gonna do that very, very soon. Better write that down so I don't forget. Okay, because E is a vowel, it makes a short sound like L-E, elephant. It also makes a long sound. The long sound is E, okay? It says its name. So this is what I did. Okay, I kind of divided the paper into half. Okay, if it's a short E, I put this little cup over it, okay? That's the S sound. If it's a long E word, I put it over here with a straight line on top. You're gonna do that a lot more in first grade, boys and girls, but I still like you guys to learn the difference between short and long vowels, okay? So here's what I came up with. I put Elijah, and if you're gonna put a picture of Elijah on your dictionary page, okay, make sure you start his name with a capital letter, okay? So Elijah. It's a short E sound. Okay, I drew a picture of elbow. I drew an elephant down here. Now I know it's sometimes hard to see where I put the words because it's kind of all jumbled together, but there's elephant. Oh, I forgot about this when I remembered exit. I have to color that. I think an exit sign usually goes over the top of a door, and it says you can get out this way. You can get out into the outside if you go out the exit door. And I think usually they're green, sometimes red, but most of the time green. I did an egg. Here's a whole egg with a crack in it. And then here's the egg after you fry it. You got the yolk in the middle, right? Okay, next to Elijah is an elevator. Elevator. And then I didn't have room, so I put the word excellent over here. I like to put that on your papers. When I comment on Zoom, I'll write, excellent work today, boys and girls. Oh, and then I remembered at the last minute, the elf, a little elf. I made him green with a red Santa hat. Elf. Oh, and then Eskimo down at the bottom. See the Eskimos all bundled up in a parka? If you write the word Eskimo, you also want to use a capital letter because it's a name of a certain type of people. Like if you write Indian, American Indian, you'd use a capital I. Eskimo has a capital E. Okay, now these are over here are long E. All right, so eagle. I know that's not a very good eagle, but I tried my best. Eagle, you hear a long E sound. Easter bunny. Easter bunny or Easter eggs. The basket's full of Easter eggs. This is an eel. An eel, you spell it E-E-L. It looks like a snake, but it's actually a fish. You'll find an eel in the water. Oh, 11. We know the number 11. 10 and one more is 11. And then I put an equal sign down here. We've been using equal when we're doing addition. And then this is eat. Eat an apple. So the differences between all these words over here are and then the long E sound is E. Okay? All right, I'm going to set that over here. That took a little longer than I thought, but that's okay because we've kind of got this down now that you guys know what you're doing. You're going to find your E page in your red folder with all the handwriting papers. It's kind of nice because you can keep track of what letter we're doing next, what letter we're doing next week, and the week after that, and the week after that. We're getting down, aren't we? Oh, we still actually have a few letters left. Okay, so I'm going to put my name at the top. Remember our little poem? Name at the top. Name at the top. Always, always, always put your name at the top. Mrs. Jenkins. Okay, so I'm just going to practice those E's just like I did up there and just like you guys did on Zoom. And again, if you want to try both ways, you can try the top first. Make the top first, the straight line down, the long back, the bottom. So take your time and make me some beautiful E's, okay? Please use pencil. Always use pencil on the handwriting pages because if you use a marker or a pen or a crayon, of course, you can't erase. And you know what? No one is perfect, right? I make mistakes all the time, but if I make a mistake, I want to be able to use my eraser. Maybe mom and dad have bought you a better eraser because I'm not sure. I just brought a few extra pencils home from school because the one I was using was getting dull and the eraser was getting small. Okay, and then the little E's. The dot's already there for you, boys and girls. That'll make it easy. Straight line, curve up to the middle and down and around. It's like you're making a C, but you got to get that straight line in there first, right? Okay, and remember, you can always trace these three first. I know they're not dotted and they're not gray, but you can still trace them to kind of just get the movement in there and get the size. All right, I'm only going to do those for now so I can go on, but I'll finish that up later. And then you don't have to sit there and watch me. Okay, all right. Hey, here's one I forgot to put on mine. Here's E for easel. Okay, so look, in their classroom, we have easels. We actually keep them outside because when we paint, we like to send kids outside and have 2 at a time paint, and it doesn't smell so bad. But an easel, it could have a whiteboard on it, and you could use white markers like we do in the classroom, or you can use it for painting or for drawing. Okay, an artist easel, and this is how you spell it. So we're not going to put that one there because it's already here. Let's try, how about elephant? I know that's a long word, but let's do it. So I'm going to draw an elephant. Has a big head, really big ears, right? A trunk that it uses to drink with. Okay, and then remember the tusks we saw in the elephant the other day, the tusks? And then it has a really big body and really big, thick, strong legs. I'm not sure what kind of tail. I'm not sure if it's long or short. I'll have to look at a picture of an elephant, but there's my elephant, okay? So, I can look at my poster here. I'll take a picture of that. Elephant, Gonna ask mommy and daddy to help you. L. You could sound them out, boys and girls, but I kind of like these pages to be correct. I like to save sounding out when we're doing writing, when we're doing invent and spelling when we're writing. Okay, but on something like this, I'd rather have you do it correctly. L, F. Now, boys and girls, this is tricky. I hear a F. Do you hear a F? Elephant. But it's not. It's a P and an H, like in the word phone, elephant. So I am going to hold this up. Like I said, that is a really tricky word to sound out. Okay, so you can get mom and dad to help you, or you can look at the little poster that I made. Elephant, I like that one. Ellie, elephant, starts with the E. If you want to draw a picture of Elijah, you could even put a little photograph of you. You could put a photograph, or you can draw a picture of yourself. Remember, if you're going to do Elijah, make sure you start with a capital letter, okay? I'm going to do an exit sign. I like this one because what I'm going to do, when you see exit, you definitely hear the eh, and you hear a ks, and you hear I, and you hear t. You actually hear it, right? And when you see it above a door, it's always all in capital letters because they want it nice and big so you can read it. But right here, I'm going to use lowercase, okay? Like I am looking for the exit sign so I can get out of the theater, out of the building. And they're always lit up so that you can see them. And I think most of the time they're green. Okay, kind of makes sense, right? Green means go. You're gonna go outside. I believe I've seen red ones too. I just know they're always lit up so that you can see them nice and bright. Okay, elephant exit. I think I want to do 11. 11. That's a long E sound, so I'm gonna make a great big giant 11. Okay, 10 and one more. So it's a 1 and a 1. E-le-e-ven. Now there are a lot more words. I kept thinking of more words when I was done. And so if you think of something else, you could write excellent. You could write escalator. There's a lot of words that you can do, but we only have to use 3. The nice part about these pages, this came from one year we bought dictionaries for the kids, and they were kind of expensive and they were bound. That's why you can see this here. And then after that, we just started making copies of them. But the kids had a really nice dictionary, and at the end of the year, they could take it home and it had words for every letter of the alphabet. But you know, here, this is nice to do it this way too, but it's sort of hard for the kids to find the words to match the picture. Here, it's nice and neat, and you've got the lines to write on so you can write your words nice and neat. Please use lowercase letters. I still have some kids starting all of these with capitals. The only one that should be capital is if you're writing someone's name, right? Like Elijah. Okay, I'm gonna get this colored and I'll take a picture and I'll put that on our Canvas page for the assignments for reading today. All right, bye-bye.